Welcome to Astridology, the podcast that brings you knowledge, wisdom, and principles that can help you find the peace and comfort we all seek and deserve in our lives. Happy new moon. Happy new moon. Happy new moon. Aquarius season is here. I'm really excited about the Aquarius season. I have an affection for all of the zodiac signs for sure, but I also, there are particular zodiac signs that affect us each differently depending on your tribe or the friends in your family, your household, and things like that. So one of the things that you want to pay attention to astrology is that how it affects your life. So we're going to unpack ritual today. We're going to talk about some of the things that I use. We're going to do something a little bit different. Okay, so people will join as they join. So this is the full moon, or the new moon is coming in today. Hey, welcome. So the new moon is coming in today. In just a couple hours at, what is the time for us? At 12:55, almost close to 1 p.m. today. So let's start to unpack this. What I realize is that you can listen to my videos about the new moon, full moon, but if you're not taking action, it's still cool. It's great to honor the moon, but if you really want to impact your life by creating and working with moon energy, it's important to take action. So one of the ways to take action is to create an altar, some kind of reference regarding the new moon. So one of the crystals for Aquarius is amethyst. So I love amethyst. Amethyst is one of the OG crystals. But each month, or each full moon and new moon, I think about what that zodiac sign represents and what it does energetically. We'll talk about that in a second. So Aquarian, when you think about Aquarian energy, it's about air. So think of air. What I think about is airing things out. What needs to be aired out? What needs to be refreshed and cleansed? So for my setup, for my altar today, I brought something just to show you an example, but this symbol looks like blowing out or doing breath work. So it's an amazing time to do breath work. It's essential to do breath work during this time of this Aquarius season, not just for the new moon, but throughout the remainder of the Aquarian season. Breath work has medicinal benefits. It has scientific information that backs it up. So look into doing breath work. So I have this on my altar to represent air. I also have my little sweetie. This is Nola Celine. So on your altar, you can bring things that bring you joy and bring you happiness. My little grandniece, her middle name is Celine. She's named after the moon goddess. So I have her on my altar here right in front. And on top of that, I have these little morsels of clear quartz, because you know that clear quartz is a conductor of energy. Quartz makes things move. And moldavite is a transformation crystal. I've had this little piece. It's really a pendant for a necklace. I've had this for at least 10 years. But I thought about moldavite because we're moving in a time of transition. So I have the moldavite sitting on the quartz to help to amplify what I'm trying to create. So I've got Nola right up front. I've got the clear quartz crystal, and I've got moldavite. On my grid, and I love this, I want to thank Mia at Canyon Crystals. This grid, it's hard to see, but it has etched in the selenite is the individual zodiac signs. It's beautiful. And so selenite, as we know, is a cleanser. It cleanses the other crystals, and it cleanses your environment. So I've got the amethyst that represents Aquarius. I also have pyrite. I have pyrite also around, which is one of them. And I have a sphere. Whenever moon energy comes around, I always try to engage and try to add some kind of circular energy as well, just to represent the moon. I always have my salt lamp here. I love this thing. It was a gift, this moon salt candle. So Himalayan salt helps to purify the environment. And so I have this going, not just during the moon times, but also just in general. just to keep that circular energy flowing. One of the things I learned about ritual and setting up space, I will give credit to the Sage Goddess, based in Torrance, California. I used to pull cards and do different things, but she's the one that made me understand the importance of bringing in the elemental energy: earth, water, fire, and air. So my earth are my crystals. I have multiple crystals here. So crystals represent the earth. They come from the ground. I have my fire. I always have a candle, and I love this candle from Little Shop of Oils. They make amazing products. So I have a new moon and a full moon. So I'm going to go ahead and light this right now. They're really beautifully fragranced, and so it represents the new moon, because the new moon is not visible in the sky. So with the new moon, it's about turning inward, but it's about new beginnings, and all beginnings and creation begin from within. Okay, so I've got my earth, my crystals, I got my fire with my candle. What do I use for air? Different kind of sprays. There's Palo Santo, lavender, things like that. But I absolutely love the Flower Apothecary. Her brand is unbelievable. I've been honored to work with her over the last couple of years in doing some beta program and testing about Flower Apothecary. So for my air, I've got my incense. I have my incense going here. My incense is already going. That's going to represent air and movement. I love this incense brand, Herb and Earth. Pretty darn good, clean, really. And this is matcha. I chose matcha because matcha is green. Matcha to me represents growth. But Nadia at the Flower Apothecary, she's going to represent water for me today, because in two ways. One of the things so this is synchronicity, divine timing. I am working on divine timing and working with synchronistic energy. So for synchronicity, I would just spray this all around myself and my environment. So this can represent air, it can represent water, because it is a water molecule. But what I love the best from Nadia are her Flower Apothecary remedies. This one is called Sufi and Sumatra. She created this in reverence for her parents, her grandparents, her ancestors. I've been working on ancestral connections and release. So I use her Sufi and Sumatra, and then the 22 karat gold. This is absolutely one of my absolute favorite essences. So the way Flower Apothecary works, you take 4 drops 4 times a day. Delicious, and it's amazing. So I'll use these two when I start my ritual. This will represent my water. The other thing that I do is I always sage. I always clear the space. So I've got my earth elements with the crystals. I got my fire element with my candle. I got my water element with my Flower Apothecary remedies. And I have my air with my incense. The next thing I do is I clear the space. You want to clear the space, clear yourself, clear your energy. So even if you don't have sage burning right now, the intention that I'm setting here is to clear the space for all of us. So cleansing and clearing the space. Now I use a lot of selenite, so my crystals are usually pretty clean. I have some natural African tumbled citrine here, but using selenite pretty much keeps things clean. One of the things I learned about doing rituals, not just for the full moon and new moon, doing gridding during this time is important. But I learned long ago that when you think about habits and how you can create consistency and success, it's in having consistency. So I started making grids throughout my home that I didn't touch for the year. So this is a grid that sits on my dining room table, my focal point in my home. This is a year I want to bring in monetary abundance, financial health. I also want to bring in abundance of growth and opportunity. So this grid sits in my living room, but I wanted to show you an idea of what it looks like. But I am not touching this. The only thing I do is during the full moon, I take it outside to recharge it, and then I cleanse it regularly. And I have grids in my bedroom, my bathroom, my kitchen, my dining room. You want to bring these crystalline energy all throughout your home and your space. I also pull a card. This is one of the things that I'm doing. I saw, I think her name is Colette Barron Reed. She has a new journal out about a 40-day, doing a 40-day sadhana of pulling cards. This is not her deck, but this is one of my favorite decks. This deck is amazing. The Akashic Tarot. And again, consistency is key. So for me, personally, this is the deck that I'm going to use the entire year. I actually started pulling cards from this deck in December. So again, when we're trying to create habits and anchor things in our lives, we have to have consistency. So I started with a 40-day card pull. Today is my 40th day, in fact, on this new moon that I'm pulling. But every day I will pull a message, and the messaging is unbelievable. It's incredible how the cards, so you have to create a relationship. That's the word I'm looking for, a relationship with your tools. Create a relationship with your crystals. I don't know about you guys, but I talk to my plants. You know, studies have shown if you talk to them, you rub them. I have a plant that has fluffy leaves. It looks like an afro. So I'll go and pull and say, look at your afro. But studies have shown that they grow based on the love and energy that you put into them. So same thing with candles, same thing with deck. Imagine putting your energy into one specific deck for the entire year. The energy and the connection that you will create from that. And lastly, journaling. So important to have a journal if it resonates for you. So this is my moon journal. Again, this is my journal for 2023. Just a simple journal. It's got the moon, got herbs and flowers, things that I love. So every moon I sit and I think about what the moon is trying to tell me, what it's bringing, questions, prompts. And you can see here, I have my cryptic squares representing the tarot cards that I pull from the Akashic record. And those are my messages. So from the last full moon in Cancer, I did my ritual. I pulled these cards. So before I do the new moon ritual today, I will refer and look back to what these said. I will then pull the 3 new cards. Why 3? 3 is one of my favorite numbers, but 3 is also the number of creation. 3 is the number of creation. So that's it for setting up. So design for what works for you. But again, think of the elements, the earth, the water, the fire, and the air. Okay, so a full moon occurs when 2 planets are in opposition of each other in the same degree. So the sun and the moon, because we're in Aquarius season, they are sitting at 1 degree, okay? So the peak energy, this is important, the peak energy of a new moon or full moon lasts approximately 2.5 to 3 days. Most people say 2, but starting today, so you have Saturday, Sunday, and part of Monday to really tap into the high frequency, the highest frequency of the energy from the moon. Then we have 2 weeks to embody, live it out, and bring in the intentions. So if you're watching this video after the new moon, it's okay. Still take the qualities and take the information because you have 2 weeks until we get back to the full moon, okay? So what is the biggest energetic news that's happening right now? This is a super moon. And what that means is that the moon is very close to the earth. So the closer the moon is to the earth, the more intense the energy. As you know, or you might have heard, moon energy governs our emotions. But our emotions are good. They're a gift. They really are a gift. Okay? This is the 3rd of 5 consecutive new moons that will be in 1 degree. So this is the 3rd. We have 2 more to go. So the next 2 new moons will be sitting at 1 degree. And we'll talk about numerology and in a moment why 1 is important. Mercury is out of retrograde. Yay! Woo! On the 18th, Mercury went direct. And there is something called a post-shadow of Mercury. So if you need to sign contracts, you need to make big purchases, investments, you can do it comfortably now. We have still some post-shadow, but we are free from Mercury in retrograde. We're also free from Uranus. So tomorrow will be all direct. So tomorrow the final planet in retrograde will go direct, and we will have February, March, almost 2.5, almost 3 months of freedom from retrogrades. That means momentum. That means the ability to move your things forward, okay? It is also fairly rare. It's a very rare time to have no planets in a retrograde. It's very rare. So what a gift of coming into 2023 in the first month of the new year to be given this gift, okay? Numerology. January is a 1. It's the first month, so it carries the 1 vibration. The moon is sitting at 1 degree. So 1 is about new beginnings, fresh starts. But 1 is about I am. It's the I am. It's the ego. 1 is associated with our root chakra. It's associated with us feeling grounded in ourselves and in our bodies. Because in order to create anything, you have to come from a grounded space. Going back to the plant analogy, you need soil in order for things to take root and to grow. Okay? 2, because today is the 21st, 2 is the energy of nurturing. It represents partnership. It's also associated with our second chakra. The second chakra is associated with creativity, water, movement, bringing things to life, giving birth to things. This energy, the number 2, gives us the opportunity to nurture ourselves. 11. So the day adds up to an 11. So 1, 21, 2023 equals an 11. 11 is a master number. So technically, we don't reduce 11 down to a 2. I do sometimes, but it's considered a master number. But 11 can bring a little turbulent energy. It'll give us a feeling that we want to do, and just keep going on this doing, and then forget about spending equal time being. So number 11, but if you reduce it to a 2, it wraps back up to match the 2 and 21. 21, the day itself is also a 3. So a 3 is about creation. It's about creativity. Again, why I pulled 3 cards to represent creation. And number 7, the year 2023, as I said in the full moon video, that reduces to a 7. 7 is a universal year number. It's like a lightning bolt strike that hits your heart. This year, being a 7, is going to bring excitement, breakthrough, surprises all year long. Unexpected help and support that you never even imagined would come. 7 also pulls us within ourselves like a vacuum. So you might be feeling already like this is the first year that I'm actually feeling committed to myself. Like you can feel it. It's not fake. It's actually really going to come through in a powerful way. Number 1 and number 7 are both masculine energy and make you want to rush and get somewhere. Now, in the full moon video, I said coming into 2023, if you don't remember anything else from my videos, is to slow down. Take your time. We have all the time that we need, and we are already supported. We just got to take the next step, the next breath, and the next prayer to get there. But slowing down, because sometimes we rush, go, only to then be stuck sitting in traffic, or only start to spill and make mistakes and fall and trip and have little accidents. So 1 and 7 are masculine, which we need. We need that energy. We need that momentum. But be careful about overdoing. What are the main themes for this Aquarius new moon? One of the things is that Aquarius can bring duality into our minds and hearts. Aquarius is the sign, the symbol of individuality. When I think astrologically, Aquarians really, absolutely, positively, they don't really care what other people think at all. They don't. I have a lot of Aquarians around me. My 2 sons, Austin and Aiden, both have Aquarius rising signs. Your rising sign determines your personality. So they have the rising sign. My boyfriend Ed has a rising sign in Aquarius. I'm just like, oh my gosh. My dearest, one of my dearest, oldest, longest friends, Gina, she is an Aquarius. And then my son's brother, Ethan, he's an Aquarius. And then you can't make this stuff up. Aiden's beautiful, wonderful girlfriend, Amanda, is Aquarius. So I know that's why I'm highly favored for Aquarian energy, but they're smart, they're determined, but they really walk to their own drumbeat. You know, some people say Aquarians are picky. It's not that they're picky, it's that they truly understand what they really want and they're uncompromising to it. And if someone makes a suggestion, it's like, thanks for sharing, but if it doesn't resonate with them, they're not going to do it. So during this Aquarian season, feel yourself dipping into more of that kind of energy, that you really care more about what you feel and what you think versus what people around you think and say. This main theme is about it's deciding to heal or to teach. So this is where the duality comes in for Aquarians. Aquarians love to teach. They're leaders. They're natural born leaders. They have a mind that they're able to quickly assess a situation and come up with a new solution. So they're about transformation. They're about innovation. So it's like, do I just save all this stuff for myself or do I help and teach others? So typically Aquarians do both, but they do it in their own given time. We can have too much on our plates right now. We can try to do too many things right now because it's like hurry up to speed, because we still are dealing from that residual trauma from the pandemic. Because if nothing else we learned is that time waits for no one. And we can sit back and let time pass us by, or we can seize the day. You know, we can come from a carpe diem attitude. Things can happen super fast during these next 2 weeks. You don't have to wait. Sometimes it's like we feel like, well, that's going to take some time. Not during this energy and not during this year. Aquarius is a fixed air sign. So all of the air signs are about duality, but it's about how do we break down all the things. So Aquarians are good about breaking things apart mentally and studying, and then putting them back together in a better, more holistic way. So our question is, how do we do that? Help both the collective, help ourselves, while being our unique, funky, freaky, out of the box selves. This truly is about not fitting into a tidy box anymore, and Aquarius energy will help us do that. So momentum is really going to pick up from the rest of today onward, and things are being revealed. So listen to your guidance. Aquarians are associated with intuition. It's a highly intuitive sign and being guided from within. So key messages. Don't forget, we're in the age of Aquarius. We were in the age of Pisces, where Pisces energy was about the self. It was about gathering. It was about accumulating. It was about greed. And it was about me, me, me. As we went into the age of Aquarius, we are now about the collective. It's about the world. It's about global healing in as much as we're worried about. We're finally learning that when we heal ourselves, when we grow ourselves, we can grow the world. Brings to mind that saying from Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. So social justice, we see that. We see equity and balance as we move down this lane of being in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of the architect and the visionary. So this is a time to sketch out. I know me, I have very cryptic drawing, but I did take time at the beginning of the year to kind of sketch out and visualize the things I want to see. Some people believe in vision boards. That's great to cut out photos and pictures and put images. But just think of yourself as the architect of your own life. Sketch out. Do a rough sketch. Do a rough outline during this period of this Aquarius season. Get the art outline done, and that architectural energy of Aquarius will help us. Saturn conjuncts with Venus. I call this out in the full moon. So that is happening tomorrow. And when Saturn and Venus conjunct, that means they work together. So Saturn, Venus is about your values. It's about harmony and respect. Venus gives us the ability to build something beautiful. Sometimes our angst in getting things done is that we want it to be good. We want it to be beautiful. So sometimes we'll hesitate and not do it. That Saturn energy will add commitment, seriousness, and the maturity that you need to deliver it in a really high and powerful way. This is not a light-hearted, frivolous kind of moon. This is an intellectual and more calculated, a more committed time of energy. This is the time to not be lazy. It's a time to get in touch with your intentions and take action. And think of the words architect, commitment, create. Let these words reverberate through you from the whole time, from today and through the whole time of Aquarius. And it's time to collaborate. It's time to collaborate and help others. You know, I have so many beautiful friends that are doing beautiful things. One of the things that I'm taking on is to talk about that. So today I talked about my beautiful friend Nadia with the Flower Apothecary. I have been using her products for the last couple of years. It's changed my life. So collaborating, there's ways we can collaborate by just liking someone's video, forwarding their information on. That's a way to just support others and collaborate. What to do during this new moon. It's a great time to work on your intentions and your goals for the whole of 2023. Like I said, create an outline. Think architecture, think rooms, think floors. Think of all the different areas of your life as rooms or floors in your life. Have the guts to sort out your problems. So 2022, 2021 were doozy years for many of us. And there were problems that we went through that we may have set aside. Clear, wrap up, close anything that's occupying unnecessary mental weight in your mind. So like I got a speeding ticket at the end of last year, and I looked on it and said you can make a court date because I have an argument, because I think what happened to me was not equitable, let's say. And I was going to cancel it. I was too late to cancel, and I went with vinegar and salt in my body, like, ugh. But when I got there, it was the greatest experience. I have a court date down the line. But again, I said, Astrid, just wrap this up. Don't drag this forward. Just deal with it and handle it. Turned out got a great judge. This is just a preliminary thing. I have to follow up for my actual hearing. So please send me love and light for an auspicious outcome. This is a time of seeing your vision, building the outline, and letting other people help you. I'm a terrible person at asking for help. This is a year I'm going to ask for your support, ask for your ideas, ask for your help, you know. So ask. Aquarius is about the macro. So think of your biggest, most impressive thing that you want to create this year. What would that be? So instead of getting caught in the little details, think of your biggest, most impressive thing that you want to deliver this year in 2023, and then write that down. Make it writable. Write it down. Sketch it and write it. I can't emphasize that enough, because it's one thing to say something that you want. It's one thing to think it, but it embodies it when you write it. I love this statement. Say to the universe. Here's what you're going to say to the universe. 2023, you're going to figure it out for me, but I'm going to give you my ask. Don't just feel like you're just a victim in a story and you're just being taken down a path you don't want to go. Give your demands to the universe and let 2023 figure out the details. Sketch on paper, because again, this new moon is about making the outline. Finally, January 2023 update. So 117, Capricorn moved into Aquarius until the year 2025. So again, Capricorn is grounded. Talk about a rooted sign, grounded in energy. So on 117, it moved into Aquarius. So again, we've almost got a trifecta of Aquarius energy happening right now during this new moon. The Aquarius season starts today. The new moon starts. The Aquarius season started yesterday, the 20th. The new snow moon, super moon, starts today at, what did I say, 12:55 Pacific Standard Time today. We talked about the Saturn and Venus conjunct. And the last thing that's happening that's making this weekend powerful is Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year. I wore red today to kind of remind you to wear it. So, you know, typically in Chinese in Asian culture, it's the Lunar New Year. This year is the year of the rabbit. So envelopes, I found these beautiful ones on Amazon, and I sent them to my friends and family, some of my close friends and family. The idea is you put money in it and you share these envelopes. But wearing red, when you think about red in feng shui, red is a power color. We don't wear enough red in our lives, but if you want to get grounded, a quick way to ground your energy is to wear the red. And ladies, we can do red nail polish, red toes, we can wear red underwear, gentlemen, red socks or red tie. Also garnet, remember garnet, rubies. You can bring it in your jewelry. And ladies, if all else fails, you can add a garnet or ruby crystal to your bra. So Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year. It's called the Spring Festival, and it's celebrated by 2 billion people worldwide. So the Lunar Year starts on the 22nd, so it's just the start of it. And it's a time to celebrate, welcome in a new year, smile, and believe in the fortune that you are so deserving of. But you can look up all of what the specifics on Chinese New Year, but I wanted to remind you, don't miss this date. Ideally, you buy something new to wear. Ideally, it's about fresh, new, so they believe that wearing new clothes, like the emperor's new clothes, you're already starting off that lunar year fresh. What else? Aquarius is the sign of awakening. Rebellion and routine are key to being in this world. So routine can actually change our lives towards the things we want most. So when I talked about creating a ritual is routine. I routinely now, every 2 weeks, I got a new moon, I got a full moon ritual set and ready to go. I'm going to close with this thought, but before I close, if you want the notes from my new moon talk today, please DM me. I'm happy to email you the notes. I cover a lot of things in my talks, or listen to the replay. I'll close with this statement from Teal Swan. People will do whatever they can to anchor themselves in predictability. Predictability is not actually the need for guarantees. In this game of life, even if there is no way to predict what will happen, we're actually willing to accept that uncertainty as long as we believe that our experience will give us a benefit or an advantage. And 2023 brings with it the promise that there is treasure waiting for us, wrapped up in the things we cannot predict. And one of the things about Aquarian energy, they're not afraid of the unknown. Wake up each day. We really are at a time. It's no longer day by day. It's like inch by inch, hour by hour. And as Eckhart Tolle said, moment by moment. The more you stay in the present moment, the more beautiful and integrated life you will live. Thank you so much for joining me on this new moon talk on Aquarius new moon. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Happy Lunar New Year. Namaste. Thank you for listening to Astridology. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help support the podcast, please hit the subscribe button and tell your friends about it by sharing this program on social media. You can also follow me on Instagram at Coda Life Goddess or at CodaLife.com. Coda is C-O-T-A, Coda Life Goddess or CodaLife.com. Thank you again for listening to Astridology, and I'll see you next time.